Alright, so this is chapter ecotypes. So we're going to go down to the first question. So according to the chart, so we know we're looking at that chart at the top, in which economy is ownership only private? So we'll go back up. And the features are over here. So this is kind of like your left-hand side of the chart, and this is like the top. We've got market, command, and mix. So, and I'm pretty sure the way I've organized the questions is so you look, if we're looking at the chart, it goes downward. So ownership of property. Let's see. Market has private, command has government, and mixed is private and public. So, market. So for number 1, it's going to be market. All right. According to the chart, in which type of economy does the government own everything? Did anybody see that? You want to try to take a guess? Or scroll up and look. First person to put it in the chat gets extra XP. Allie. Allie got it. All right. Yes. So it was command. So it's basically like the government commanding everything under here. So number 2 is like, I'm going to add the number there in the chat so that anybody who needs to look back can. All right. According to the chart, which economy uses supply and demand as its allocative mechanism? So we're looking for allocative mechanism. And it is supply. I don't know why they wrote it backwards. Normally it's supply and demand, and you hear that all the time. So this one's central planning and quotas. So the government plans it, and then they make plans for what numbers you need to hit. And this kind of balances the two. And extra XP. All right, so number 3 is in the chat correctly. All right. According to the chart, in which economy do you have some freedom of choice, but not always? Let's see if some people can take a guess in the chat. Good job. Correct. It is mixed. And that answer is the slowest scroll of all time. So freedom of choice is right here. So freedom, no freedom, and this is like your yes, no sometimes. All right. According to the chart, which type of economy offers the most variation in goods and services? Anybody want to take a guess in the chat? Extra XP. Mm-hmm. Yep. Correct. Put a number in front of that. So it is. So again, you'd go up and look at variety of goods and services. So yes, no, and here's like yes, no. So For mixed, you're just going to see, I mean, it's a mixture of market and command, so it's always going to be a little bit of both. According to the chart, which type of economy offers no response to changes in demand? Let me get a guess in the chat. I believe in you. I might have to get it before you guys. Alright, so wait, let me get back down here. So which offers no response to changes in demand. So here it is. Response to change in demand. Consumer sovereignty. So it's gonna be command economy right here. Slow or no response? So number 6 is command. Goodness, I asked a lot of questions about this chart. According to the chart, which economy runs into problems of monopolies in regards to efficiency? Alright, so here we've got efficiency, producing most desirable goods, allocative efficiency with the least cost methods, productive efficiency. Alright. Efficient allocation of resources, usually because of existence of profit motive, sometimes inefficient because of private monopoly. So it's going to be market. This one's inefficient because of absence of profit motive. So when prices are set, you're not really motivated to change them. And mixed kind of sets some rules for the private sector. So essentially, like, you can't have a monopoly because the government will break apart a monopoly. So number 7 is market. All right. According to the chart, a shortage is when supply is greater than demand or demand is greater than supply. All right. So here we go. Shortages and surpluses. So shortage is when demand is greater than supply. Surplus, so that's when you have too much, is when you have greater supply than you have demand. So demand. So demand is the people demanding something, and supply is the item. So when more people want something, like toilet paper. According to the chart, a surplus is when there's more, and so this is the opposite because we just looked it up, or I just looked it up anyway. Is when there is more supply. Let me put. Okay. Good. All right. Which economy is more stable? So this is where we were. Did I make this further up? Where was it? Hang on. Let me just put in, it is going to be command economy, and it's going to be that way because the government puts it at a certain price, and oh, it's in the, it's not in the chart. It's in here. So, by nature, a command economy is more stable, guaranteeing constant exploitation of the existing resources. It is least affected by financial downturns and inflation. So that's because when they say, like, if the government were to say the price of chips is $1, then no matter what happens, it's going to be $1. Now, if there is, like, in a market economy, if you don't have as many chips, then you can raise the prices and be like, well, we don't have enough, so we're going to up the price. So number 10 is command. Number 4 is up. Did you get? Thank you with assisting in the chat. Excellent. All right. And let's put number 10 in there. Okay. Command economy is blank market economy. So similar to, the same as, or opposite to. All right. In a carefully planned command economic system, both surplus production and unemployment rates remain at a reasonable level. That never happens, by the way, so you can just... The steady nature of a command economy encourages investments in long-standing project-related infrastructures without any possibility of financial recession. Command economy is just opposite to the concept of market economy with respect to basic money-making approaches. So there's our answer. So opposite to. All right. What does eradicate mean? All right. While market economy tends to multiply the wealth of a nation through the gradual process of evolution, command economic system prefers deliberate planning of the entire money-making process for better results. In fact, such sincere economic planning in the long run provides or proves beneficial to improve the economic conditions of a country. Command economy emphasizes more on collective benefits rather than the requirements of a single individual. Under such circumstances, rewards, wages, and other monetary benefits, like bonuses, are distributed on the basis of joint rendering, giving of services. This is how planned economy actually eradicates, here it is, gets rid of the profit making at individual levels. So basically, this normally goes along with communism, where everybody is given things equally, but also dictatorships will use command economy because they want to control everything. So number 12 is get rid of. 13. The market economy is characterized by the voluntary exchange of goods and services in the absence of any government intervention or planning. The market economy is characterized by the voluntary exchange of goods and services in the absence of any government intervention or centralized planning. So centralized. And I am going to paste that in the chat. So you might want to copy and paste it so that you don't spell it incorrectly. And also, if you're following along in here, you can also copy and paste it from the top. The market economy operates under the blank market. So labeled, fair, level, free. The market economy operates under the free market, where the basic assumption is that the nation's well-being is determined by the interaction of market forces like the aggregate demand and supply. The key decisions of what to produce, how to produce, and how much to produce are the producer's prerogative, unlike the case of a centralized economy. So what it's saying here is you can, if you own a business and you're selling more of one thing, you can up the price on that to make more money on it. And if something is not selling, you can lower the price to get more people to buy it, because maybe that's the difference. Like if you're like, okay, if I lower the price on this, it will kind of get rid of it, or it'll get at least somebody to buy it. And that's what happens when you see sales, when there's a lot of sales, or if like a place is shutting down, clearances, sales, things like that are to get rid of things that people are either not buying or they need out of there. So yeah, this is free, and that is already put in the chat. Extra XP there, and also for helping earlier. Okay. The market economy operates to satisfy the blank wants, where the society as a whole may not reap the benefits, public or private. Is that put in here? So it's pretty much here, the decisions on how to produce, what to produce, are with the producers. So the producers are controlling it. So this is private. 15 is private. All right, and then we get to mixed economy. There's a presence of private economic freedom with centralized planning, the common goal of blank, the problems associated with both capitalism as well as socialism. Finish this part though. So the market economy is void of government interventions such as price fixing, license quotas, and industry subsidization. So this is getting like monetary help, subsidies. The market economy has many gaps. There is a high chance of complete anarchy in the absence of any government intervention. So let's say if somebody's charging too much, or and there's not enough supply, you might have people that will like rebel and revolt and go and attack whoever it is that's selling something, because they're like, hey, you need to sell this cheaper. The role of government in attaining social welfare cannot be denied completely. The market economy operates, there it is. to satisfy the private wants where society as a whole may not reap the benefits. There may be a concentration of wealth in a few pockets of the economy. So this is where we get the whole, the people at the top being richer. And then we've got characteristics of a mixed economy. There is a presence of private economic freedom with centralized planning with a common goal of avoiding the problems associated with capitalism as well as socialism. So, number 16 is avoiding. All right. Right. Now, video time. Alright, let me go back. I did not read that question out loud. Alright, so in the video, the first trade that was made was a spear for a caribou suit, berries, animal, fire. Let's see.
The economy. For something so massive and so important, why do so few of us ever truly understand it? The clinical definition is that the economy is simply the sum of all transactions that take place within a certain area during a certain time. But what does that even mean? Maybe the best way to understand the economy is for me to take us back, way back, back to where it all began, like this. You see, me and Ugg, we were a couple of cavemen with a very common problem.
Man, Glug, my wife is going to kill me. I didn't kill anything today. You're such a better hunter than me.
But Ugg, you make such better spears than me. If I had one of your spears, I'd be an even better hunter. I could get even more animals.
Hey, Glug, how about I trade you one of my spears for your animal? You'll get more animals next time, and I won't have to come home empty-handed.
And thus, the first economy was born.
All right. So that's our first answer. So it was an animal. So this is actually like what would be traditional. So bartering, direct trade, no money. Yes.
What was number six? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I just put it like a second ago. I forgot to hit enter in the chat. And I was like, oops. Yeah, 16 is avoiding if you missed that one. So that's right there. All right, so the first one, and this is clearly not like a real video. This is hypothetical what happened. All right. In the video, they say competition drives demand, productivity, prices, innovation. So let's see.
An economy is essentially made up of markets where people with one form of money, good or service, trade with another person who has some different type of money, good or service. This continued exchange is called the market cycle.
Been a good day. Sold like 4 porcupines. Well, that's good. I have 6 spears sold.
I can't make a good spear or kill a wild boar, but my caribou suits will last 3 winters.
I'll give you 2 spears for that caribou suit.
You should join our cave market.
Great idea. You want the lowest price? I want to maximize my profit. Through the market, we can both maximize our wealth.
Just like that, the marketplace came to be. Soon, marketplaces went from exchanges between individuals to places where skilled tradesmen could sell their wares to more and more people. Tired of smashing things with your club or your fist? Get tools! But I'll take 8.
Fire! Fire! I'm not kidding! The booth is on fire!
As my fellow cavemen and women focused more on specialized skills, this led to the creation of businesses, which in turn developed into industry. Sue, me, Tug, and Ugg were all selling our wares throughout the local villages, and even to villages far beyond our caves. Many moons passed as each one of us prospered, but markets are also about other people trying to improve their self-interest. After all, competition drives innovation.
Hey, Glug, what?
All right. So far, they say competition drives innovation. So 18 is innovation. So I'm going to stop the recording here, but we are going to watch the rest of that. That way I don't get some kind of copyright strike or something crazy.